New York Liberty, the We Deserve It fans. No fan base screams entitlement louder than Liberty Nation. Every year they claim this is their season. Every loss is the league conspiring against them. And every opponent's success, just temporary. The truth, New York hasn't won a ring in 27 years of existence. 0. But try telling Liberty fans that. They'll hit you with excuses about market size, draft luck, or building something special. They treat finals appearances like banners and act like Sabrina Ionescu and Breanna Stewart already belong in the dynasty conversation. It's not confidence, it's delusion. Liberty fans believe they're owed a championship simply because they're New York. Reality check. The W doesn't hand out rings for zip codes. Los Angeles Sparks. The nostalgia fans. Sparks fans love one thing more than basketball: living in the past. They bring up Lisa Leslie's dunk like it happened yesterday. They relive the Parker-era titles like they weren't a decade ago. The current Sparks? A disaster. Coaching chaos, Parker gone, empty seats at Crypto.com Arena. But don't tell Sparks fans that. They'll insist LA is still the standard, as if history alone wins games. The arrogance of pretending a broken franchise is still elite makes them unbearable. Sparks nostalgia is a shield, one that hides how irrelevant the team has actually been for years. Houston Comets. The 4 rings forever fans. Every conversation with Comets fans ends the same. We've got 4 rings. Yes, the dynasty was real. Yes, Cooper, Swoops, and Thompson were legends. But here's the thing. That was 20 years ago. The team doesn't even exist anymore. And yet Comets fans hijack every GOAT conversation, dismissing every modern champion as not Houston. It's exhausting. No one doubts the dynasty, but constantly clinging to 1997, 2000 like it's still relevant? Annoying. History matters. But it doesn't make your ghost franchise superior forever. At some point, you have to let go. Comets fans refuse. Phoenix Mercury, the Taurasi zealots. Mercury fans don't root for a team. They root for Diana Taurasi. Period. Criticize her defense? Blasphemy. Mention her aging legs? You'll get death stares. The franchise could be 628, but Taurasi dropping 15 inefficient points is treated like gospel. The zealotry is unbearable. Taurasi is a legend, yes, but Mercury fans act like she's above criticism, even as her decline drags the team down. It's cult-like loyalty, the kind that turns conversations toxic. For Phoenix, it's not team first, it's Diana first. And that obsession makes their fan base one of the most annoying in the Seattle Storm, the Sue Bird loyalists. Seattle fans are spoiled. 4 titles, 2 dynasties, and legends everywhere. But their most annoying faction? The Sue Bird loyalists. They act like Bird single-handedly built the franchise, dismissing Breanna Stewart's dominance or Jewel Lloyd's rise. In their eyes, Bird could do no wrong, even when her production dipped late in her career. Question her defense? They'll drown you out with leadership speeches. The problem is, Bird's cult following overshadows the rest of the roster. Storm fans who cling too hard to Bird make it feel like Seattle has one player, not a team. It's worship, not fandom, and it's suffocating. Minnesota Lynx, the dynasty gatekeepers. Lynx fans love one thing more than their team, reminding you they had the real dynasty. 4 rings in 7 years, Maya Moore's brilliance, Reeves' machine. It was dominance. No one denies that. But Lynx fans weaponize it. Anytime another team wins back-to-back, they swoop in. Not as good as Minnesota. Aces? Talk to us when you get 4. Storm? 2 titles isn't a dynasty. It's gatekeeping at its most annoying. Lynx fans cling to their dynasty like a badge of superiority, refusing to acknowledge the league has moved forward. Yes, they were historic, but living as the self-appointed dynasty police? Exhausting. Chicago Sky, the Parker-only fans. In 2021, Candace Parker came home to Chicago. Overnight, Sky fandom exploded. Suddenly, everyone was a diehard. The Sky win their first title, and the Parker stans made it seem like the franchise never existed before her. Then she left, and so did they. Attendance dropped. Energy dipped. The true Sky fans were left behind, annoyed by the tourists who only showed up for Parker's storybook run. It's not just bandwagoning, it's disrespect. Chicago's history didn't start with Candace, but Parker-only fans act like it did. And when she left, they abandoned ship. Annoying doesn't even cover it. Indiana Fever, the Caitlyn or bust bandwagon. Indiana had one of the worst stretches in league history post-catchings. 7 straight years of misery. Empty seats, Lottery failures, irrelevant basketball. Fans vanished. Then Caitlin Clark arrives, and suddenly Fever fans are everywhere. Loud, proud, acting like they've been ride or die forever. No, you weren't. You ghosted the franchise for a decade, and now you're lecturing everyone about Caitlin's greatness? The hypocrisy is unreal. Fever Nation's most annoying type is obvious. Caitlin Clark bandwagoners who pretend they survived the wilderness. They didn't. They just showed up when the cameras did. Connecticut Sun, the almost fans. No fan base takes moral victories harder than Connecticut. The Sun have been to 5 finals, 0 championships, and yet their fans talk like runner-up banners count as rings. Every year it's the same. We're underrated. We're disrespected. We were this close. At some point, close doesn't count. Sun fans cling to almost as if it makes them elite, even though it cements them as the league's biggest underachievers. Their loyalty is real. Their coping is unbearable. Nobody wants to hear about nearly champions forever. Washington Mystics, the one-year wonder fans. 2019 was magical. Elena Delle Donne, Emma Miesemann, a title that felt like destiny. Mystics fans deserved that moment. But since then, mediocrity, injuries, no consistency. Still, Mystics fans cling to 2019 like it defines the entire franchise. Every conversation comes back to that one year. We proved we can win. Sure, once. A true dynasty sustains it. Mystics fans pretending 2019 makes them perennial powerhouses is exhausting. The ring is real. The obsession is annoying. Atlanta Dream, the moral victory fans. Dream fans have lived through heartbreak. 3 finals appearances, 3 sweeps, no rings. So now, they've built a defense mechanism. Moral victories. Lose by 10? At least we fought. Miss the playoffs? We're growing. Every setback becomes spin. And while optimism is fine, Dream fans push it too far. They talk like competing hard is the same as contending. The "we tried" energy becomes a shield against reality. Atlanta hasn't been relevant in a decade. Even with Ryan Howard, the fan base floods timelines with "we're building something special" takes after every mediocre season. Special isn't .500 basketball. At some point, you've got to stop celebrating effort and start demanding rings. Until then, Dream fans will keep being the loudest moral victory crew in the league. Dallas Wings, the delusional prospect fans. Every draft pick is the one for Dallas fans. Every year they hype their rookies like future MVPs. Reich, GOAT. Satu Sabali, unstoppable. Awak-Kuye, generational. And then reality hits. Development stalls, the team underachieves, and the fan base turns on those same players a year later. The cycle repeats. Wings fans live in draft lottery fantasies instead of demanding wins now. They treat every pick like the savior of the franchise, only to scapegoat them when progress stalls. Dallas has talent stacked to the ceiling, but the fan base acts like promise is the same as product. It's not. Until they realize draft hype doesn't equal banners, Wings fans will stay stuck in delusion. San Antonio Stars, the forgotten team fans. Stars fans love to remind you they were wronged, relocated to Vegas, stolen by the league. But here's the inconvenient truth. San Antonio barely supported them. Attendance was weak. Relevance was minimal. They had a finals run in 2008 and Becky Hammon's prime years. But outside that, the fan energy was lukewarm. Now, in hindsight, Stars fans paint themselves as martyrs of relocation. The problem? They weren't loud enough when it mattered. Now they pop up only to complain about history. It's annoying because it's revisionist. The Stars weren't robbed of a dynasty. They were forgotten because their fan base didn't fight hard enough when they were alive. Sacramento Monarchs, the bring them back fans. Every expansion rumor gets hijacked by Monarchs fans. Doesn't matter if the conversation is about Philly, Toronto, or Denver. Monarchs Twitter storms in, "What about Sacramento?" Yes, they had a title. Yes, they had loyal fans. But the obsession with bringing them back overshadows actual discussions about the league's growth. Monarchs fans believe Sacramento is owed a team, as if the WNBA exists to fix their heartbreak. It's exhausting. Every expansion post turns into a Monarchs nostalgia fest. History matters, but Sacramento's entitlement is grating. A return isn't guaranteed, and forcing the narrative doesn't help. Monarchs fans love their past so much they annoy everyone else trying to move forward. Cleveland Rockers, the ghost fans. Cleveland Rockers fans are like ghosts, silent most of the year. Then they appear randomly to remind you the Rockers once existed. We had a playoff team. We mattered. then they vanish again. It's not loyalty, it's nostalgia with no substance. The Rockers folded in 2003, yet their fans keep popping up like Cleveland's WNBA history is some trump card. It's not. Yes, the Rockers were solid. Yes, they deserved better than contraction. But if you're going to pop up every year crying for respect, at least show consistent passion. Instead, it's ghost fandom. Quiet until it's time to hijack a conversation, then gone again. That's not legacy. That's annoying. Portland Fire, the short-lived martyrs. Portland Fire fans love to remind everyone their team was wrongfully taken after only 3 seasons, 2000-2002. And sure, the Fire were cut too soon, but here's the reality. They weren't special. No playoff runs, no stars with staying power, just mediocrity wrapped in nostalgia. But Fire fans talk like they were a dynasty snatched away, a tragedy on par with Houston's collapse. Every expansion rumor, Fire fans swarm in like martyrs of the league. The truth? The Fire had 3 years to build something and didn't. Their martyr complex is more annoying than their short history. They don't just want the Fire back, they want the league to admit it made a mistake. Sorry, Portland. It wasn't sabotage. It was forgettable basketball. Miami Sol, the conspiracy fans. Miami Sol fans treat the 2002 contraction like a plot. Ask them why their team folded and they'll tell you the league wanted us gone. Never mind that attendance was mid, the franchise had shaky ownership, and the product wasn't elite. No, it was a conspiracy. Sol fans spin their demise like the WNBA feared their rise, when in reality, they were an average team in a tough market. What's annoying is the refusal to accept reality. It wasn't personal, it wasn't sabotage, it was business. Miami's paranoia makes every conversation about contraction insufferable. Sol fans see themselves as victims of a grand scheme. In truth, the league just cut dead weight. Charlotte Sting, the 2001 Dreamers. Charlotte Sting fans hang on to one thing, their Cinderella run to the 2001 finals. They upset top seeds, shocked the league, and made it all the way, only to be swept by the Sparks. That's their entire claim to fame. And Sting fans act like it was more than it was, as if one magical run defines them as a hidden powerhouse. The reality? Charlotte never won a title, rarely contended, and folded in 2007 with barely a whimper. Yet their fans act like that finals run puts them in the same breath as Houston or Minnesota. It doesn't. It was one lightning strike that ended in a sweep. Annoying because Sting fans inflated into history-making greatness when it was really just one good month. Orlando Miracle, the That Was Our Team fans. The Miracle moved to Connecticut in 2003, rebranded as the Sun, and became one of the league's most consistent contenders. But Orlando fans? They're still bitter. Every Sun win is our win. Every finals appearance is stolen glory. Miracle fans act like Connecticut's success should belong to them, as if relocation meant their fan base gets retroactive credit. It's delusional. The team moved because Orlando didn't support them. That's the truth. But Miracle fans won't let it go, constantly hijacking Sun discussions with "those were our players first." No, they're not yours anymore. They're Connecticut's. Living through another team's success is the ultimate annoying move. Las Vegas Aces, the Dynasty Hypers. 2 titles in 2 years, a loaded roster, a legit powerhouse. But Aces fans? Already calling them the greatest of all time. Already crowning them as better than Houston's dynasty or Minnesota's run. Already claiming no one can touch us when history says otherwise. The hype is unbearable because it's premature. Vegas is great, but 2 rings isn't 4. And until they stack years of dominance, they're not the dynasty they claim. What makes Aces fans annoying isn't their passion, it's their arrogance. They dismiss history, erase legends, and act like basketball started in 2022. If they keep winning, maybe the hype will be justified, but right now, it's loud, premature, and flat out annoying.